let me just interrupt this video real quick to make a couple quick announcements. The first one is we actually now have a cool season lawn plan available, step-by-step instructions. What it basically is it's actually my hybrid organic lawn program. I'll link that playlist below. What I've done is I've taken all the most frequently asked questions that we've gotten over the years, and that book answers those, as well as I give you a lot more detail into some different products, spread rates, application rates, all kinds of things. I think this is very, very well detailed and has tons of video support. So if you're a Kentucky bluegrass, perennial, rye, turf type tall fescue, fine fescue, sorry bent grass, not for you, but all those other grass types, if this is your lawn and you're in cool season, click in the link in the description below and you get that book for 25 bucks. Seriously, I'm really happy about the way this one turned out. Also, we do have a warm season plan for you guys. That one's a little different because there's not a ton of video support that works to that exactly, even though I'm working through it right now live. But so if you're a warm season lawn, go ahead and click below and you can get your plan. That's gonna be for St. Augustine, Zoysia, Bermuda primarily, Centipede. So if you need a warm season plan, I've got that for you too, and that one is actually happening live on the channel as we speak. So both books available to both lawns.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. Now, in this week's video, we're doing step 2 of warm season pre-emergent. That's a liquid application using Pennant Magnum. Gonna be good for all of you no matter where you live, because we're also gonna bucket test a Chapin sprayer. Additionally, we're gonna throw her down Milo at 10 pounds per thousand and exercise your math skills. So with that, let's get out over by the garage and a workbench over by there.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So today I've got quite a bit on my task list, but the main things that I'm doing are, number one, I've got to put down my second pre-emergent app of the year. If you don't have my pre-emergent guide, click in the link in the description below. Sign up for my newsletter. We'll send that to you, as well as a couple other free things that we're sending out. But we're talking about pre-emergence a lot this spring. I'm talking about pre-emergence for those of you with warm season lawns like me. I'm coming up on app number 2 here. And for those of you with cool season lawns, you may be just getting started. The guide covers all of them. But anyway, for me, it's an application of Pennant Magnum. And this is going to be a liquid application, so we've got some things to deal with there and some things to learn. We're going to talk about that, a little bucket testing today, and we're going to break out a new sprayer. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down an app of my old friend Milo, and there he is. So let's talk first about that. Let's just talk about the rates and how much Milo we're going to put down in this application. So I tell you guys always, obviously, have a lawn map here. All right, so there's a couple things, considerations I have for those of you that don't really follow along as much. Let me talk. Last week, pretty cool video, I thought anyway. But this area back here, this is being treated with only the N-Ext Products. And this area over here got some special treatment. So I'm only doing actually sections 1, 2, and 3 today with the Milo. I'll explain about section 4 in a minute. So really 1, 2, and 3. So I'm actually treating 1, 3, 4, 5, 5,500 square feet. That's all I'm really treating today with my Milo application. So let me tell you the rates just for that. I'm going to go with a 10 pound per thousand rate. You can go heavy or light. I'm going to go a little bit lighter than normal, only because of the fact that we've just had cold temperatures and my St. Aug is still lagging. It's just crazy. It's just such a weird year. But so I'm not going to go too heavy quite yet. Normally I'd be cranking her up really hard right now, but we'll go with 10 pounds per thousand. So with Milo, as you know, and again, I know we talk about this all the time, but repetition is the key to learning. So Milo's a 540. So if I'm putting down 10 pounds per thousand, that is going to give me 1/2 pound in, because this is 5% nitrogen, and 10 times 5% is 1/2 pound. So 1/2 pound in, and everything is done in 1,000 square foot increments.
Smells like a beautiful blueberry pie.
Yeah. Now the other thing to consider is these bags are 36 pounds, right? So let's do some math. All right, so we've got the lawn journal out. Again, we said we've got 5,500 square feet to take care of. We're doing sections 1, 2, and 3. So at 5,500 square feet, so then 10 times 5.5 equals 55 pounds. I've got 2 36s, right? So that's a 12, 6, so I have 72 pounds. So it's cool that I'll have a little bit left over. Maybe I'll put a little bit at the base of my palms or whatever, which are still struggling. So there we go. I need 55 pounds to cover sections 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna get to it. Not gonna give you a ton of detail in the app, but gonna go for it. I know what some of you are thinking, seeing that Chapin sitting back there. Today is not the day to test that. She's gonna have to wait. Earthway, 2600 A+. So with the Milo, before I go and do the rest, let me explain what happened over here. So when I did my epic dosing 2 weeks ago, video came out last week actually, I actually put a full dose of Milo here. This is like 2,000 square feet. This got a whole bag, so this got massive Milo. You can see it looks okay. I've been irrigating, but again, we've had that really weird, you know, low nighttime temps, and this is so much Bermuda. I've been really trying to keep it out dormant, so you can see I got a couple dry spots over here. So it got some of the epic dosage, but again, then it also got a full app of Milo, so hardcore. By the way, this is what happens when you spray at night and you can't see what you're doing, and you drip your epic dosage on your stepping stones over by there. Alright, so here's this old girl. Same thing. Struggling. Look at that, just from cold. Ugh. Crappy. But if I put my hand in here like this, and white balance kicks in, I bet it looks a lot darker. That's an old lawn care guy's trick. I'll teach you guys. But anyway, you can see we're dominating the neighbors. So we got to give this a little bit of time. Like, finally today it's a little warmer. I think in the next few days we're going to be in the upper 60s for our temperatures, and that's when this is going to, you know, all that purple that's in there, that cold damage. Yeah, I pushed it a little too hard too early. I know. That's all right. We wouldn't be lawn care nuts if we didn't do that.
Now, the other thing I'll say is it's not lost on me as I watch my last few videos that I kind of am, you know, the way I'm doing these N-Ext products, I'm kind of like your buddy that signed up for like Amway that you knew several years ago, and all of a sudden all this Amway stuff started showing up in his house, and like even his toilet paper was made by Amway. I know that's how I am too, right? Like all of this stuff, and it's all got these labels, and like I don't know. Maybe I'm hooked on QVC, maybe I'm some sort of, so, you know, just wanted you to know that's not lost on me, so there you go. So this is a 4-gallon Chapin backpack sprayer, but it's also got a 20-volt Black & Decker battery pack built into it, so now it becomes a battery-powered sprayer. Now, I'd seen these before, never really something of interest to me, but it has come up in the last month or so. I got to use that one that you guys saw from a couple weeks ago, which I liked. So I called up my friends at Do My Own and said, what do you guys got for me that you can send me? Because you guys know that's how we roll. And they sent me this one, and I really, really like it. So this is me just testing it with some water here. But we're gonna go ahead and do full bucket testing, and I'm gonna do my full blanket spray using this sprayer. And I can tell you that I don't know how I ever used a non-battery powered sprayer before after this. So hats off to Pete over at GCI Turf. He's kind of been the guy that's been championing the battery-powered sprayers for homeowners kind of deal, and I'm fully on board with that. So this is the one I'm going to use, and we're going to do a full test here and show you everything I learned about it. All right, now it's time to talk about the tips, but these are not the tips that you're used to me giving. So anytime you get a new sprayer, the first thing you're going to want to do is what's called a bucket test. And the reason you do a bucket test is because you want to find out the gallons per minute of output of that particular sprayer. This is one of the advantages to the battery-powered sprayers in that they stay consistently aired up. I'm using air quotes there. They stay consistently aired up during and throughout the spray process, so you can get a really consistent application. So you want to get yourself a small bucket here. We're only going to do 1 quart and we're going to time it and then do some math, but the idea here is we want to figure out the gallons per minute of output of this sprayer. You're going to want to use the fan tip nozzle. This one only came with one, so that's the one I'm going to use, and we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Now, once you hit the 1 quart mark, shut off the spray and the timer simultaneously and record your results. Okay, so as you can see in the video, it took 37 seconds to spray out 1 quart. We know that there are 4 quarts in a gallon, so 37 times 4 is 148 seconds. 148 divided by 60 seconds, which there's 60 seconds in a minute, is 2 minutes and 28 seconds. So that means it takes 2 minutes and 28 seconds, or 2.5 minutes, to spray out 1 gallon of liquid from this sprayer. Keep in mind that you're not continuously spraying, that sometimes you'll have to move around objects or make turns where you're not spraying. But it's 2.5 minutes of total spray time to cover 1,000 square feet. So the next thing we need to get down is the walking speed. And the only way that I know to do that, again, because we're calibrating ourselves to this sprayer, is to go out and then just walk it and test it. Okay, so we only need 1 gallon, but you know, I don't know how well this will pump out. Actually, I think it'll pump out very well, but either way, we're going to put in more, and then we're just going to watch where it ends up. I'm actually going to fill it up higher too, because the more weight that's in this, it can slow your walk speed down, so always got to pay attention to that. But we're going to go ahead and put it at 3 gallons, and then when we're done, we should be at 2 gallons. So that's the test, to go from 3 to 2. So let's fill it up just a bit more. All right, so I do have a real 3. Now you don't have to be quite this crazy, but. So grab a 1,000 square foot area of your lawn. Now if you're a beginner, I recommend you get a perfect squared off 1,000 square foot area. I don't have that, but this section over here is 1,000 square feet, and I can go ahead and get a really good test here, even though it's a pie shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start out with my normal walking speed that feels natural to me for a backpack sprayer, which is what I call a double fast walk, or putting some ass into it. So I started with 3 gallons, and the goal is to get down to 2 gallons and do it in exactly the right amount of time. Now I did carry a timer with me. You shouldn't probably do that. You should just test it on your own with the walking speed, because if you carry a timer, what you'll tend to do is watch the time and then see where you're at, and you'll speed up mid-application. You don't want to do that because that makes an inconsistency. The idea here is you want to learn what the walking speed feels like as the sprayer is calibrated out of the box. If you want to make your own adjustments later, you can certainly do that by changing tips. But for now, again, I like to calibrate to the way the sprayer came out of the box. Okay, hope the audio is going to be okay. So to get this right, what we're doing right now is we're just going out and testing with just water, and I really just want you to get a feel for the walk speed. That's the key, is to get a feel for the walk speed. So that's why I had a stopwatch going, just to kind of see where I was at. Obviously you can't see how much is draining out of the tank, or that would help you, but it's on your back. So what we're trying to do is get the feel. So I know what that feel was. That's what I would call the putting some ass into it walk, and I was a little bit fast. So look. So I finished at 2:14. Remember, supposed to go to 2:30, so 2.5. So I'm 15 seconds short, and if you look, about a half a gallon short. So I'm walking way quick, so I've really got to slow down. Now, this should be a little bit more out, but you have to realize that when I'm making turns, I'm not spraying. So you lose a second or 2 on every turn. So, I mean, you could seriously take probably 7 to 10 seconds off of that. And again, we're eyeballing here. We're going to be close enough, even with Pennant Magnum that we're going to do later. But so if I take that down, take 7 seconds off of that, or even 10, that's 2:04, and that would be about right, remember, because 37 seconds for 1 quart. So we're getting there. We're close. But again, I'm going to need to go test again, and I'm going to slow down a little bit. And remember, I don't spray on the turns. So let's go do it one more time and see what we end up with. Now, before you go getting too crazy, this is the fan tip that came with it. And obviously we have to walk slow because it's a small opening. If you want to walk faster, you can get a tip, and I talk a lot about tips, but not this kind of tip, but you could get a tip that has a wider opening, and then you could walk much faster. For me, I just like the leisure walk, and again, I like to use the equipment with what it came with. This is also probably a little bit better of a spot spray type nozzle because of the nice
fine mist that it brings. By the way, I need you to understand, I know this is a lot of work, right? And there's probably easier ways to do this, but you need to enjoy this. This is learning your land, and this is learning your equipment. It's learning how you respond to your land, how it feels to walk the land at certain speeds with a pack on your back. This is all like super important. So that's why I tend to do things a little bit more, not overbuilt, that's not the term, but you know what I'm saying. I try to do things a little bit more nutty. Where we at? Yep, back up to 3. I think you can probably see that. All right, so again, here's our next test. We're gonna go from 3 to 2. I could probably put some RGS in here or something so you guys could see this a little better, but I don't feel like getting too messy right now. Stuff jumps out of the bottle. So we'll just go for that. Ready? 1 gallon, test number 2. So interestingly enough, I pretty much did the exact same thing. I am a creature of habit, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So again, I don't know if you can see, but we're at the exact same spot as before and about the same timing. So I really need to slow it down. Now it'd help if I was tired. It's early in the morning, I'm not tired yet, but anyway, so I'm gonna go one more time here. Again, this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one more time, and I'm gonna slow her down and try to hit that mark just perfect. Okay, here we go. I mean, listen, if we weren't getting our exercise here, where would we be getting it? 16-ounce curls? We're right at maybe just a hair above 2 gallons, but close enough. And that's good. And it was 244 for that spray. Again, a little bit of a different area, but this is what matters, is that we started at 3 and we ended at 2, and we did 1,000 square feet. That's what really matters. And again, I want to make sure I level. There we go. Well, she's not perfect, but good enough. Again, we said she might have been a hair over, but close enough for government work for sure. So there we go. So that's the walk. And that is definitely a leisure walk, I'm going to call that. So I'm going to write that down, leisure walk, to do a blanket spray with this. And that's good because I enjoy a leisure walk. So to make my math easy, I'm not quite doing 10,000 square feet, but if I had like 9,500, but if I had a perfect 10,000 square foot lawn and it takes 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, just saying, at continuous spray to do the whole thing, what is that, 25 minutes? So it's a 25-minute walk. That's some pretty good exercise. But again, you're going to have fill time in between that. You're going to have time when it's not spraying. So all told, it'd probably take a good 45 minutes to spray this lawn. And you know, considering that I only have to do blanket sprays like this once a month or so, with Pennant Magnum like we're going to do today, only once a year because everything else is granular, I'm worth it. It's worth it to me to do that walk and to get that exercise in, and 45 minutes of cardio and weights. I'm all about it. Let's go have some fun. Okay, next is Pennant Magnum. Now, I know that this is an expensive product. If you have the Pre-Emergent guide, we do some breakdown for you. You can cover a lot of square footage with that $224 jug. Link in the description below, at least take a look. You're gonna want this for doveweed is the big one. Nutsedge, it'll suppress nutsedge, so part of a good strategy, but doveweed for sure. Sandbur also. And then of course it does prevent crabgrass and POA and other things too. So with that, we need to go ahead and get our mix rate. So for this one, it's 28 milliliters per 1,000 square feet. And so that's 1 gallon of mix covers 1,000 square feet. You guys know how we always do that. So 28 milliliters. Now, this is gonna be different. This is actually gonna go everywhere. So this will go in the back, this will go on the side, this will go here. So this will go over the entire lawn. So when we add it all up, there we're at 10,000. So that way, then if I'm at 10,000 square feet, right? And I need 28 milliliters per 1,000. So we can do a little math then. We can just take 28 times 10. And what do I need? 280. So I need 280 milliliters. Now, one other consideration that you need to look at. This is a 4-gallon sprayer here. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure out the mix here too, because I don't wanna over mix, right? I've got 4 gallons. That's another reason why it's good to have 4 gallons at your disposal, because it gives you more flexibility to not, you know, have to mix too much. The math works out pretty easy here for me because I've got 10,000 square feet and a 4-gallon sprayer. So 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So I need 2.5 fills, right, to cover the lawn. Each fill is 4 gallons. So I'm gonna need 2 4-gallon fills, and I'm gonna need 1 2-gallon fill. Again, 4, 4, 8, and 10. So that's 10 fills to cover 10,000 square feet. I know you guys love this crazy ass math. I do too. I'm actually really bad at it. But so these 2 fills right here, so I'm kind of making like a makeshift fill sheet is what I'm doing. These 2 fills right here are gonna get 4 times 28 milliliters. So 28 times 4 equals 112. So these will be 112 milliliter fills, and this one is going to be a 2 times 28 milliliters, which is 56. So this will be a 56 milliliter fill. Hope that makes sense. 112, 112, and 56 equals my total of 280. So just double check your math. So 112 plus 112 plus 56 equals 280, right? 280, 280. So my math is good. So I'm gonna fill this bad dog right here, all right, at 4 gallons twice, and I'm gonna put 112 mil in, and then the second time I'm gonna fill it at 2 gallons and put in 56 mil. And then the last thing is here is you just kind of have to know your lawn sizes. So where is it gonna be logical for me to attack this knowing I got 2 4-gallon fills and a 2-gallon fill? Now I don't necessarily have to do that. I've got the walking speed down like perfectly now. So as long as I remember where I end in between fills, I'm good. So I won't film the whole thing because these are kind of the things that you really should have fun figuring out is, you know, what's the most logical way to spray my lawn? Imagine pros, they have to do that. You know, they're good at seeing it. That's why I talk about hose management, all kinds of things. You know, pros do this for, you know, our guys at True Green had 800 lawns in their routes, you know, so they're managing 800 lawns in the best way to spray them most efficiently. You only have to figure out 1 lawn. So enjoy that part. Remember the walking speed. And then as far as the overlap goes, remember the walking speed, which we already got. It's just a nice leisure walk. The next thing is the overlap. You're just going tip to tip. So you just want to kiss the tip of the previous pass. That's why we use the fan nozzle, because it fans out like that. So you just want to kiss the tip on the next pass over.
From here, I'm gonna set up a little fill station here. Gonna put in 3 ounces per gallon of RGS along into this mix, just to help stimulate a little growth and keep improving the soil there. And I'm gonna mix that in a separate small bucket and dump that in. Of course, the Pennant Magnum goes in again at our rates we just talked about, 28 milliliters per gallon. This is pre-filled at 3 gallons. It's a 4-gallon total. Really, it should only be at half, but I already had this in here for earlier demonstrations. But typically, you want this filled with water halfway first, then add your pennant, then add your RGS. I'm gonna get everything agitated here. And don't worry, even with a backpack, agitation is a normal thing as you walk anyway, but still a good idea to stir everything up real nice. That's why I like to pre-mix in a bucket on the side. And then go ahead and enjoy your nice, leisurely blanket application. Spray and pray, y'all. That's what I always say. With that, I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for watching this epically long video, and I'll see you in the lawn.